Hi, welcome back to Box Delights. Today we're playing Oceans, but with a difference. We're playing Oceans with the upcoming solo mode. This is a mini expansion that North Star Games have sent me as a little preview so I can show this to you. This is going to be released alongside another expansion, Legends of the Deep, which takes the base game and adds cultural legends from around the globe and a dash of fantasy to the Oceans ecosystem. There'll also be a Legendary Edition which will include both these expansions alongside the base game. So let's show you Oceans. Hopefully you know how to play. If you don't, we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to play Oceans solo. So what comes in this expansion? We're going to be playing against an AI opponent called Nautilus, and Nautilus comes with these two new boards, a shark board and a whale board, a bunch of tokens, 35 in all, and an incoming tokens board. The tokens come in two flavours. We've got a bunch of shallow tokens and then some deep tokens, and there's different layers of difficulty. So we've got deep 1, deep 2, deep 3. We're just going to play with deep 1, shallow 1, and then we've got a spare pot here. You don't get the pots. These are just bring a cup or a bag or whatever you want, just to hold their score tokens. Now the setup is like a two-player game. There's a few little differences. We'll run through those quickly now. But we're going to draw one deep token, place it here, and then 4 shallow tokens, place them here. This shows you what the next 5 actions are going to be for Nautilus, our AI opponent. So we kind of get a little bit of a look ahead. There's also some cards from the base game that we'll remove. So these are 5 deep cards that won't be played with in the solo mode. Our objective is to score a whole bunch of points. In the solo mode, we've got to score more than Nautilus. If we score less than 70, Nautilus wins. If we score 70 or more, we win. And then, obviously, you can keep a track, if you wish, of your victories and try and score more than last time. But yeah, 70 is your threshold for win-loss. We've got a bunch of trays. We're going to set those up now. We've got a couple of decks. We've got a shallow deck, so we're giving that a shuffle. We've got a deep deck, we've given that a shuffle. We've got a scenario deck, we've given that a shuffle. Okay. And we've got this Cambrian Explosion card, which we're going to place here in what's called the first ocean zone. Okay. This is the reef. These are 3 ocean zones. 1, 2, 3. In ocean zones 1 and 2, you're going to draw and place 2 scenario cards. This scenario deck then disappears. This is a big old deck, so there's plenty of variability in the game. We'll see how these scenarios come into play in a minute. But the aim of the game is to collect and score points, right? We already know our victory threshold is 70 points. Points are these fish. Fish come in different colours for easy counting out. The first 100 fish are clownfish. We only need 100 fish, so we'll use 100 clownfish. All the clownfish, and then we know we've got 100. We're going to divide these roughly into 4. Doesn't have to be exact, but about 25 into each sea zone. Okay. When one of these 2 sea zones is emptied, that's when these scenarios trigger. Okay, and also this Cambrian Explosion. Right, we'll look at that when it comes. But the Cambrian Explosion basically speeds up the game towards game end. We're going to be collecting these fish. The more fish we collect, the more points we have at the end. When all the fish have been collected, that triggers the game end. How do we collect fish? We collect fish by creating species. Species are formed from this deck of cards, and also from the deep. Once we get into the Cambrian Explosion, then we can start playing deep cards. But these shallow cards for the first half of the game, these are going to create different species of sea life. On a turn, we're going to create new species or evolve existing species by playing cards. Then one of those species is going to feed. That's how we grab fish from these sea zones, or potentially we can steal them from other players, or in the case of the AI, from the shark and the whale, from the Nautilus player. Okay. So So we're collecting fish by feeding. And then all of our species age. And when we age a species, that's how we collect points for scoring. Okay? And in the multiplayer game, you'll have one of these player screens. I'm going to take one for the solo just to collect the points that I score. Okay? So I need to create species in order that they eat food, eat fish, and then those fish, which represent the population of those species, age, and they become my points. All right, you'll see it once we get into the demo. Right, that's the basis of the game. Let's get playing. So we start the game by drawing a hand of 6 cards. There is a player aid if you want to use it. Okay. So on your turn, you can play cards. Right? We play 1 surface card. After the Cambrian explosion, so once this first sea zone is emptied for the first time, we'll be playing 2 cards every turn. All right, but for now, we're going to be playing 1 card. Right, let's have a look. Any card, doesn't matter, there's no cost to playing these cards, we just play them. I think I'm going to play this filter feeder first. Okay. There's different stats on these cards, and we'll look at them as we play them. But once we play a card to create a new species, we grow a species board. This represents the population of our new species. So we've created this filter feeder. When it eats, it fills up this board. When it ages, you take fish off these boards. They go on your player screen to become your points. Okay. On a subsequent turn, we can either play another card to expand and evolve and add new traits to this existing species, or we can play another card, create another new species. Okay. There's no limit to the number of species we can create, so we could just keep creating new species. But as species age, they can go extinct and then they'll disappear. So it is a fluctuating player board. And the trick is, the more species we have that are self-sustaining, the more points we get from aging. That's how we win the game. All right? Cool. So there we go. We've played a card on a new or existing species. The next phase is feeding. We choose one of our species to feed. At the moment we've only got 1 species. That's the one that's going to feed. There's 2 types of feeding. A species can forage or attack. Foraging means grabbing fish from the reef. Attacking means grabbing population fish from other species. That could be our species or the shark and the whale, right? Nautilus is a species. Okay? Attacking other species. So one way to have self-sustaining species is have a prey species, a predator species, and they support each other. Right? Now each species inherently can forage or attack for 1 population, for 1 fish. Okay? But there's stats on these traits that modify that. So if we look at our filter feeder, they've got, see this green 5, this is the forage stat. Instead of foraging for 1, this filter feeder will forage for 5. It'll take 5 fish and place them here when it feeds. The red with a line through it here says it can never attack. So we have a bit of a grazer here, a filter feeder who can forage. All right, let's feed him then, because that's the next phase. We've played our card. Phase 2, we feed. Choose one of our species to feed. If we've got multiple species, only one of them can feed. You can only forage from the reef. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take 5 fish from the reef. Okay. The reef can get refilled from these oceans by an action called migrate. When we play a card, and we can either create a new species or evolve an existing species, the other option we have is to migrate, and that uses a stat in the bottom left hand corner. This filter feeder had a stat of 6, so does this one. Okay, there's an 8, 6, 7 and then an 11. Instead of evolving or creating a new species, you migrate by moving that number of fish from 1 sea zone, 1 spot. That's how the reef gets repopulated. Timing that repopulation is key. Remember, when all the fish are gone, that's the end of the game. And if the reef is empty, you can't feed. If you can't feed, you can't age, and that means your species become extinct. All right. Okay, so on your turn, we've played a card, we've fed. Next stage is aging. All species, so one species feeds, but all species now age. Prior to the Cambrian explosion, aging means removing one fish, one population, and scoring it. Place it here on our player board. That's 1 point. Remember, our target is 70 points. Okay. After Cambrian explosion, it's going to be 2. Every time we age, all our species age, we take 2 population instead of 1. Okay, so the game will speed up significantly. All right, final phase after aging is discard and draw. We can draw 1 deep card. Deep cards are optional, you don't have to play with them. You also have these bonus score tokens. These are worth victory points. In a multiplayer game, whoever starts first gets a bonus points. Okay, so player order gets bonus points. We don't need those in the solo game. In a multiplayer game, there's an offer of 2 deep cards. In the solo game, that offer becomes 3 cards. Let's have a look at these cards. They're like cards from the shallow, but they're a bit more powerful, and they do cost. To put them into play, you're going to have to pay with victory points. All right? But we can't play these just yet. We can take them and put them in our hand, but we can't play them just yet. We won't be able to play them until after this Cambrian explosion, which happens when this first sea zone empties for the first time. All right? So that is kind of like a significant milestone in the game. All right, so in the solo game, there's 3 rather than 2. And we can take them, we just can't play them yet, so grab them if you want to. I'm just going to keep an eye, but not really worried about it for the time being. So discard and draw, that's the phase we're in. We may draw 1 deep card if we wish. Or if we wish, we can draw 4 cards from the top of that deck, keep 1 and discard 3. The 3 discards go on top of these 3, right? Bang, 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 1, 2, 3. So these become like 3 decks from which the top card is always available. So if we want to take those now, we can, but we've got a hand size limit of 6 cards. So if we take them, we're just clogging up our hand, because we can't play them, remember, until the second half of the game. Now we can, if we wish, discard any number of these cards. Any number. Okay, I'm just going to hold on to them for the time being. And then draw back up to 6 once we've decided, do we want to draw for the deep, do we want to discard? We draw surface cards until we've got 6 back in our hand. Okay. All right, that's it. That's your turn over. Now we move to the Nautilus turn. These tokens, and it's going to progress from right to left, determine what action they take. It's the equivalent of us evolving one of our species. The shark and the whale are going to evolve. This first one is a shell. It looks kind of like a tortoise shell. It's going to help protect either the shark or the whale from our attacks. A token with a red border goes to the shark, a token with a green border goes to the whale. Okay, so there's another shell here. This is an attack token. It increases the potency of an attack. This is going to the shark and it's going to make it attack more. This is a forage token. This one's going to increase the whale's forage stats. This is called a gains token. Every time the whale gains population, it's going to gain extra. Right? We'll look at that when it happens. So we take the rightmost token. If it's got a red border, it's going on the shark. So the shark comes with a default 2 attack, and now it's got 2 defense as well. That's it. That's the equivalent of Nautilus playing a card onto one of its 2 species. Next stage then would be feeding. Unlike us, we can only feed one of our species. The Nautilus is going to feed both the shark and the whale. You work from left to right, so shark first, then the whale. So with 2 attack, okay, remember this is 2 defense. 2 attack, the shark's going to attack a species with 2 or more population. At the moment, that's my filter feeder. So they're going to grab 2 population from my board and stick it on theirs. Right, that's the shark feeding. That's the shark attacking. Right, we fed the shark. Let's feed the whale. The whale has an inherent 2 forage. So the whale's just going to forage. Remember, all foraging comes for the reef. The whale's going to forage for 2 fish. Place it here. Now remember, our target is 70 points. So points that get taken by the Nautilus are points that I can't have. There's 100 of these little clownfish. We're looking for 70 of them. Now, there is actually a little reserve, so if you get to the final end of the game, when this all empties out and it's still your turn, you have a reserve of these fish that you can still gobble and place on your player board potentially. But effectively, there's 100 here. We need 70 of them. So we do want to be doing some attacking. We do want to go for the shark and the whale in order to be successful. But after feeding, Nautilus is going to age. So we take one population from each of its species, place them in its score pile, which is just another pot somewhere. Right, back to me. So I've got my hand of 6 cards. Remember, I can either create a new species or evolve a new one. Now, I know the shark's attacking. For as long as I've got population here, the shark's going to be attacking. So this filter feeder is at the moment helping this shark. But I've got a trait here that might help me. It says it's transparent. It can't be attacked or leashed if there's population in the reef. So why don't we, as a part of our turn, play transparent onto the filter feeder. Now that's protecting us from that shark. Right, that's our play cards phase. Remember, play cards, feed, age, discard and draw. Right, so we feed, choose a species to feed. We're going to feed this one. We're going to grab 5 fish. We're foraging for 5. We can't attack. Ah, this is good. Now we've got to be a little bit careful, because if we overfeed, we can fill up to 9 on here, but if we hit a 10th one, then we've overpopulated. If it overpopulates, then the population is reduced back down to 5. The other 5 go back into whichever ocean we choose to put them. Okay, so it's not huge, it's not a big deal, but it is a little limit there. There is a cap on population. Okay, we're fed, now we age. So we take a fish and we score 1 more point. And then I'll draw back up. I think I just need 1 card. Yeah, I'm going to keep what I've got. Let's just draw 1. Okay, I've drawn speed. Now you can see, if I've got more species here, they're all aging, I'm grabbing more points because they will all age together. Right, at the moment I've only got 1 species, I'm only gaining 1 point per turn. I need more species, which I can possibly do now that I've protected this filter feeder for a while. Nautilus's turn. Grab the rightmost token. This is the gains token. He'll place the gains token on whichever of my species has the most population, which is, well, there's only one. It's my filter feeder. Next, they feed. Incidentally, once this last token's been taken, then we refill. Okay, so you can look ahead so far, and then they refill. Right, now we feed. So feed the shark first. So he's going to try and attack my filter feeder, but I'm transparent. Cannot be attacked if there's population in the reef. There is population in the reef. So who does he go for next? Another species he can attack. He's going to attack the whale. He's attacking for 2, but there's only 1 here, so he's going to grab 1 population from the whale. Next we feed the whale. Now before it forages, he will do gains. Okay, he's placed a gain token. Now this is bad news because the whale is going to gain number of tokens on a species multiplied by its population. So the whale is going to do a kind of this massive feed on the filter feeder with a population of 6 times 1 gain token. The whale is going to gain 6 population. Now gains don't come from the reef, right? That's for foraging. Okay, gains come from the first ocean zone. So they're going to take 6 fish, 6 population from ocean zone number 1. Now that means this big old fat whale has got a lot of population. It could be the target for some predators. Well, the shark at the moment. Right, that's his gains. Now the whale forages for its 2 as normal. So 2 from the reef. 1, 2. That's it, that's feeding done. Now they age. So remember, aging is 1 population from each shark and the whale. He's up to 4 points. So we're a little bit behind. We need another species. And we really want to get a predator down because we want a predator to try and predate that whale. When you create a new species, you've got to decide where you're going to place it, because these species are positional. So I'm going to place it to the left. And imagine these in a circle. The shark is to the right of my transparent filter feeder. The whale is to the right of the shark. But the whale is to the left of my new inking species. Okay, imagine them in a circle like this. There we go. That's my new species, and I've placed it here. So the whale is to the left of inking. If I placed him here, then the filter feeder would be to the left and the shark would be to the right. Make sense? So position is important in this game. Now I'm going to feed, and I'm going to feed my inking species, these little cuttlefish. This is defense down here. This is like a shell, okay? So he's got a shell of 4. What that means is when he gets attacked, the first 4 attack is blocked by my shell if the shark should attack us. Right, feeding. So let's feed this guy. So he doesn't have a red attack, he doesn't have a green forage, but they're inherent. So I could attack for 1 or forage for 1. Now remember, there's no point me attacking the shark for 1 because it's got a shell of 2. But we could attack the whale for 1. So let's do that. Let's attack the whale for 1 rather than forage. Now we age. All my species age. Remember, only one of them fed, so we're not feeding this one now. But it's okay, he's fat. He doesn't have to feed so often. Because when he fed good. Okay. So we age, we take 1 off each of our species. Now we're up to 4 points. That's better. Okay, now we can discard and draw. I think I might just discard this. Shark cleaner. So we'll discard this. We can discard any number of cards you want. I'm down to 4. Draw back up to 6. So draw 2. Alright, we've got another shark cleaner anyway. But we've got a filter feeder. Another filter feeder. Might be good. Okay. Incidentally, filter feeder has this never overpopulates attribute. Okay. So this guy, even if it hits these bones here, no, it never overpopulates. So that's a nice trait. Okay, off to Nautilus next. So Nautilus has got 1 green shell. It's green, it's going on the whale. So now the whale has some protection. Okay. Now we feed. Shark's attacking for 2. Can't attack here. He has no population. He's attacking the whale. The whale is going to gain. So we've got a gain token here with a population of 5. Comes from the first sea zone, from 5 fish from the first sea zone. It's getting fatter. And then he's going to forage for 2. 2 from the reef. Then they age, so 1 from each. They're up to 6. Now I'm going to lose count of this pretty quickly, so we'll just let that go. But it's going to get big, but hopefully no more than 30. And the only way to do that is to try and find a way to keep this population down. This is not helping. So I might want to let this species go extinct. And then this gain token will go. At the moment, they're just getting fatter and fatter over there, feeding off this species. And also, it means Cambrian Explosion is getting closer. So when this comes out, so then we'll be playing 2 cards per turn and aging 2 each species. And we can play deep cards. But also this is going to trigger. And whenever this sea zone is empty, this effect is in play. Detritus says players place 2 population from their score pile into the reef after a migrate action. So migration is going to be a little bit costly in terms of points. When sea zone 2 is empty, species may store 9 extra population on their species boards. Okay, so this fat guy can keep getting fatter. It can go to 18. There's no limit to the population on here on the shark and whale board. Right, there's no overpopulation of the shark and whale. So it is getting close. I mean, maybe it's time to start looking at some of these. So blubber is the same. May store 9 extra population on their board. Tail whip. Before your feeding phase, take 1 population for each species with schooling. Okay, so we've got the schooling trait. I don't think we've got that. No, we've not seen that yet. And then this last one is living ecosystem. Before your feeding phase, migrate population equal to this species forage from any ocean zone to the reef. So that's quite nice. We can keep the reef filled. Now, can I afford another species? Well, I could get another filter feeder out, but I'm just feeding the shark. But I've got another idea, and I'm going to play bottom feeder. I'm going to play bottom feeder on my little inking species here. This says it gains 2 after the species to the left is attacked. The whale is to the left, the shark is feeding on the whale. So we're kind of building some synergies. This is really an engine building, and very much so in the solo game, trying to find the efficiency of beating down Nautilus, his whale and his shark. Right, that's my card played. Yeah, let's feed this one. Attack 1 inherent now. There's no point attacking the shark or the whale because they've got their protection now. So let's forage for 1 from the reef. Now we age. And potentially now discard. I think we'll get rid of this one again. Draw 2 to get back up to 6. Another filter feeder. And then we've got an apex predator. That's better. That's better. The whale is increasing its forage stat up to 3. Shark is going to feed for 2 off the whale. Remember, this guy's can't be attacked. This one has no population. Gains 2 after the species to the left is attacked. So now the bottom feeder will gain 2. And that's one thing about this game. You do have to keep an eye on all these little effects. The whale feeds, so he's going to gain for 4 here. Yeah, 4 fish, 4 population, 4 fish. 2, 3, 4. There's still fish here in the sea zone 1. And then he's going to forage for 3. His forage stat's gone up to 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, the reef is starting to get a little empty. Okay. Now the solo Nautilus or I can refill. So we'll see what happens. Age, so 1 each from here. Back to me. I'm going to let this thing die off, but I want my inking bottom feeder to suddenly turn predator. So we could go apex, or we could go speed. The alternative, of course, is I get another species out. This one's kind of doing okay. This one's doing okay. I might just put another predator out. Let's do that. I'm going to put my apex predator out. So let's create a third species. Let's have him feed. He's got a shell of 2, and he's only got 2 attack. So yeah, apex predator is going to attack. And if I attack the shark with a shell of 2, that'll only be 1. If I attack the whale with a shell of 1, that'll be 2. So I'm going to attack the whale for 2. This icon says I can't forage with this predator. Okay. Notice too, if I placed him over this side, then that would have blown this bottom feeder. Because that would have then, yeah, the species to the left is now this guy if I put him over here. So put him over to the right was the right thing to do. I want to keep this next to the whale. Okay, let's age. So they all lose a food. 1, 2, 3. This is better. Points go up faster. And then I discard and draw. I want to keep that. I want to keep that. I think I'll get rid of one of these filter feeders. I'm not sure about the bottom feeder. Maybe I'll get rid of this as well. 1, 2. I'll get rid of these 2. Which means I draw 3. I'm still not ready to take any deeps yet. What did we get? We got speed, inking, and then symbiotic. Right, this is a new card. Gains 1 after the species to the right forages or attacks. So that could be good. I could put that on my apex predator or next to my apex predator. And if I put it here, it'll gain every time the shark attacks. Right, back up to 6. Incidentally, in the solo mode, the Nautilus doesn't interact with the deep, and the scenario cards don't affect Nautilus. Okay, Nautilus, what are you going to do? So, last one here. The shark attack is going up to 6. Oh, this thing suddenly got nasty. However, it's still not going to attack mine because he's going to look where he can get the most food from. It's still the whale. So it's attacking for 6. The whale has 1 shell. I should have reduced the attack last time. So 6 minus 1 is 5. So he's attacking for 5. Yeah, I might have done that a couple of times, not sure. But it doesn't affect the demo. It doesn't affect the demo. Okay. Incidentally, this is the leech token. We're going to see these potentially. There's one here in the shallows. That means they'll start leeching from other. It's not like an attack. It just happens as an extra way of feeding. It's like a parasitic effect. Okay, so the sharks now suddenly got very hungry. Very high population. Now we gain 2 because of the shark attacking. So there's 3 fish left here in Sea Zone 1. Whale is going to gain 1, 2, 3. So that empties Sea Zone 1. So now Cambrian explosion's in effect. Now when that happens, if there's any tokens on here, they would slide to the right and then we refill. And we're going to refill both rows because now on subsequent turns both of these things are going to activate. So we refill this, so we're going to place tokens from the shallows in both spots. And then from the deep, like I say, there are level 2 and 3 deeps as well, which make things even harder, but we're just playing level 1. Okay, we've refilled the tokens to come. Then he's going to forage for 3. 1, 2, 3. Now notice the reef is now empty, which means I'm no longer transparent on my filter feeder. Can't be attacked or leech if there are population in the reef. There is none. So this makes my filter feeder vulnerable. Now, age, because we're in Cambrian explosion, they're going to age for 2. So 2 from the shark, 2 from the whale. It's back to me, and we can play deep cards now. So I probably should have taken one last time, but I'll definitely be taking one this time. Now remember, because of this, we can play 2 cards per turn instead of 1. Okay. So let's see, what do I want to do? If I put a new species in here, now something's going to go extinct because I'm going to have to pay 2 when we age. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put speed on here. My first play, when we get to play 2 cards per turn. Now I would really like to get another species out, but the reef is empty. I could migrate, but if I do, detritus is now in effect because this is empty. I will take 2 population from my score pile into the reef after a migrate action. A migrate action means, let's say I wanted to put some fish in the reef. I could do migrate 10. So I could take 10 from one of these spots and stick it in the reef, but then I'd have to pay 2 for my points. And I could put them in here and then detritus would be deactivated straight away. I wouldn't have to pay, but that doesn't help me with the reef. So I think I'm just going to evolve one of my species, probably the predator again. I might just play another speed and make this guy super speedy. So now he's got 6 shell and 2, 4, 7 attack, which means I could take 5 from the shark or 6 from the whale. So I think I'm going to take 6 from the whale. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 1 shell, 6 from the whale. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I am protected from the shark's attack. And we've attacked the whale, so now the bottom feeder gains 2, which would normally be from the first ocean, but that's empty, so you move to the second ocean zone. So sea zone rather. So gain 2 from there. Let's go in here. Now this guy is vulnerable, but it is a low population because now I'm going to age and we're going to take 2 from everywhere. 2, 4, 6. So we are scoring more than Nautilus now, because they're only getting 4 every turn. I'm getting 6. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. But it doesn't matter. I'm teaching you the game. It's not about winning or losing. 82. Right, now we can play deep cards. So, is there anything in there that I want? The only one I'm really tempted by is Living Ecosystem. I think I'm going to do that. This might save me some pain. Let's take Living Ecosystem. We refill. What's going in? It's Imposter Cleaner. After Whale Cleaners gain, take 1 population for each of them. Okay, so if there's any Whale Cleaners, we don't have any, but there you go. Alright, do I want to discard anything? Now, when you discard, you can't discard deep. I can only discard shallow. Symbiotic, that's pretty cheap. This one's only gaining 1. It's not huge. But let's keep it. It might work for me. So let's draw 1. And we got another symbiotic. Okay, that's good actually, because 2 symbiotics, that's more useful, because then it's self-sustaining. We've got a self-sustaining species. Okay, cool. Off to Nautilus. Now, Nautilus is going to do some dodgy stuff now. Nautilus is going to do 2 things now. It's going to take both these tokens, right? Because we're in Cambrian Explosion. Leech tokens, they go on the shark. In fact, you can keep these separate, right? So, shells go over here in a defensive spot. Similarly here, you can separate those out, so it makes it easier to read. There are special spots, I was just ignoring them. Now the leech or parasitic token will go on the player species with the highest population. That's my apex predator. This is going over here. He's going to leech my apex predator. And we've got a 3 shell for the whale, so the whale's getting some defenses. There we go. Shark's going to attack. First, it's going to leech. So it's going to grab 2 population for each leech token. So 2 population from my apex predator. I'm not happy about that. Then it's going to attack whoever gives it the most population. So it's got attack 6. The whale's going to give it 2, 0, 1, 0. Okay, so it's still going to go for the whale. So it's attacking for 6, shell 4, 2 from the whale. So the whale's gotten quite strong now. Now the whale, and the whale's going to gain 1, because it's got a gain on a 1 population, so this is not helping him now. Then, if there's no population in the reef, they're going to migrate. And the way they migrate is you look at the surface discard pile and look at the migration value from the card at the top. It's an 8, so they're going to migrate from the closest ocean that they can this way. Okay, so 8 from here into the reef. And then they're going to feed. So they're going to forage for 3. 1, 2, 3. So the whale's not a big feeder. There it is. And then they age. So 2 from here, 2 from here. Alright. Our turn next. And we're probably going to play this deep card out, this Living Ecosystem. We're into the Cambrian Explosion. The game probably won't last that much longer from here, but let's play to conclusion. Let's see how we get on. Do have a couple of corrections. I missed a 1 whale shield when shark took some population, so that should be back there. And also on the last turn, when the shark attacked, I had the shark attack the whale. 6 attack versus 4 defense was 2. 6 defense here, so nothing here. Filter feeder wasn't a valid target, but there was enough population here. I counted 0 for some reason, but there's only 4 defense. 6 attack versus 4 defense means it could have taken 2 population from here. So there was a tie. 2 population here or 2 from the whale. In this situation, the shark will go for the player species, not the whale. So those 2 should have come off here and gone to the shark, and the whale would have got its 2 population back. Alright, we're all square. That's where we should have been. So it's looking a little bit more dodgy for my species. start my turn. First off, I'm going to pay to get this prime in. It's a living ecosystem. It's going to cost 1 victory point. I'm attaching it here on my transparent filter feeder. Actually, no, I want this guy to go extinct, don't I? So I'm actually going to move this down here. Normally they can only have 3 traits, but speed says may have 1 extra. So, and I've got this twice, so this one can have up to 5 actually. So for my second play, I'm going to add a 5th. We're going to add inking, which gives it an extra 4 armour. Now the living ecosystem is going to kick in. So it says, before your feeding phase, which we're doing now, migrate population equal to this species, and it's the green, it's forage stat, from any ocean zone to the reef. We can't forage, but these numbers still count, so it's 2, 4, 6. And I think we'll take them from here. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from sea zone 2 to the reef. And I'm going to feed the predator. We've got 3, 4, 5, 7 attack. So shark's got 2 defense, so I could take 5 from here. 4, I could take 3 from here. I'm actually going to take 3 from here and attack the whale, because that means bottom feeder gains 2. 1 from here. Detritus is activated again, and the next one from here. So when you gain, the oceans never deplete effectively. You can always gain the maximum from these sea zones, from these ocean zones. Alright, I think that's it. Now we age. We take 2 from each. So 1, 2 from here, 2 from here, 2 from here. We can only take 1. We can't take a second, and when you can't take enough population for aging, then the species goes extinct. So these are discarded. This goes. This goes. Right, do I want to draw anything from the deep? Let's take a chance. Let's take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Discard 3 and keep 1. So we've got a hard shell. Nice. Geothite exoskeleton. May have 1 extra trait. Cannot be attacked by a species with less than 9. I like that one. May attack 1 additional time. Oh, this one's really good. The deep sea kraken gains 3 after an attack. Reduces this species to 0 population. I think the deep sea kraken would be neat. Attacking twice sounds useful. Okay, these go however we wish in these 3 stacks. And do I want to discard? I think I'm going to discard filter feeder for sure. Keep this one. It's good defense. Let's draw 2. I'll keep it for now. Okay, I've got shark cleaner and parasitic. Oh, not what I was looking for, but never mind. Okay. His turn. I think, yeah. Okay, these 2. So, extra 3 attack for the shark. This goes on the species with the highest population, which is my apex predator. Shark feeds first. Parasitic tokens from leech. Means he's going to grab 2 population from here. Then attack for 7, 9. Wow. Well, you can take 1 from here, 2 from here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we've got 10 shields, so he can't attack our predator. 9, he's going for the whale. 9 minus 4 is 5 population from the whale. 2, 3, 4, 5, which means my bottom feeder gains 2. Then the whale feeds. So it's going to do gain first. It's gaining from this predator with a population of 2, so it's going to gain 2. And then with 3 forage, it's taking 3 from the reef. So the sharks are doing really well. The whales, they're just about muddling along. Now they age. 2 from the whale, 2 from the shark. So yeah, the whale is down to just 4 population. Back to me then. I think I want to create a new species. Should we try this? Let's try this. If we put parasitic shark cleaner, it's not going to have enough population, I think, to feed a shark. Let's see what happens. Right, that's my 2 card plays. Before the feeding phase, leeches 2 from the species on the left, which is the whale. So, grabbing this, 2. Leeching is not an attack, so shields don't do anything, right? These hard shells. Then we've got living ecosystem. Before feeding, migrate population equal to this. So again, 2, 4, 6. You can take 6 from anywhere. Let's take 6 out of ocean 2 into the reef. Both of these are empty now, so prosperity kicks in. Species may store 9 extra population on their species boards. Let's have my apex predator attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, attacking for 7. I'm not worried about the whale anymore. I'm going to go for the shark. 7 with 2 shields is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, after a species with 3 or more attacks, gain 2 if this is the closest shark cleaner on either side. It is the closest, it's the only shark cleaner. So gaining 2 from ocean 3. Bottom feeder's not doing anything now. Gains 2 after the species to the left is attacked. No one's attacking this. So you can see, although it's possible to create tons of species, they do start to become extinct after a while. But I've got 3 species in again, which means I get to gather these points. 2, 4, 6. That's aging. Lovely. Do I want to buy... I didn't play this, but I may do next time. I really wanted to find a predator. I'm going to draw 2. I'm not going to go for the deep. Okay, I've got tentacled and schooling. Tentacled may feed 1 additional time. Schooling, yeah, this is good. This is good. A tentacled predator. Ooh. Aging +1 can't be attacked when this species has 5 or more population. All good, all good. Great cards. Good to see those finally showing up. Right, Nautilus. So we got 1 extra attack on the shark, 2 extra defense on the whale. If shark attacks first, it's going to use its parasitic leech. So 2 from my apex predator. Then attack 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. So it can take 2 from here. That one's defensed up, 1 from here, 2 from here. It's going to take 2 from here. Gives priority to mine. Then the whale. The whale's going to gain 3. 2, 3. And then forage for 3. Which is not much, but it's going to see more foraging next time. And the shark's going to get even more leechy. Ugh. Okay, age 2 and 2. Back to me. I'm just wondering whether I need this living ecosystem anymore. And when you're playing cards, you can remove any number of traits you want. So I might just remove this. Shallows are discarded. Deeps are removed from the game. So let's remove that from the game. So now my Apex Predator with room for 5 only has 4 traits. So I could place the Deep Sea Kraken on here. It's going to cost me 3 victory points, which I'm happy to do. 1, 2, 3. We'll put them back in the ocean. I don't mind where. Let's just turn off Detritus for a bit. And then my second play, let's put Symbiotic on my bottom feeder. Let's keep him alive a little bit longer, because we're now going to attack twice with our Apex Predator, which means Symbiotic's going to work twice. Yeah, this should be good. Alright, before feeding, leeches 2 from the species to the left, which is the whale. Good, good. I'm not sure how well we're doing at this point. We're getting there. You know what? I think I forgot this last time. Shark Cleaner. When the shark attacked this parasitic Shark Cleaner, it did so with a big attack, more than 3. So we should have gained here as well. We should have gained 2. So let's put those back now. Alright. Now let's do our feeding. Our Apex Predator, the Deep Sea Kraken now, he's evolved. And he's going to get to attack twice. I think the first time we're going to hit the whale. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, minus 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're going to take just one little fishy from here. Okay, so we've hit the whale with our first attack. But we get to attack 1 additional time, but this time we're going to hit the shark, and then population from each attack after goes directly to my score pile. So this time we're hitting the 7, 2 shields, 5 down. Yeah, so that 5 will go to my score. Right, let's just check some other effects, because Symbiotic says gains 1 after the species to the right forages or attacks. He's attacked twice, so he's going to do gain twice. And then Shark Cleaner says when the species with 3 or more, this one, attacks, gain 2. So we're going to gain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. This is one big parasitic creature. Yeah, 2 attacks. Done. Bottom feeder doesn't do anything. Yeah, there we go. Wow, that was awesome. I could have hit the shark twice, but all I've done is push the population up here, and then my second attack wouldn't have been as strong. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, let's age. So 2 off here, 2 off here, 2 off here. And do I want to buy anything from the deep? Hard shell might be good, actually. So let's throw this one and buy that one instead. Right, so we'll grab this, discard this, draw 2. We're looking for predator stuff, really. Yes. Okay, another Apex Predator and another Schooling. Alright, I'm happy with that. Cool. Nautilus's turn. Let's evolve them. So the whale goes up to 5 forage. And then we get another parasite token. Most populous is our parasitic Shark Cleaner. So that's going here. So when the shark now leeches, 2 from here, and 2 from here. Then attacks, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's still immune. We'll get 4 from here. It's going for this one again. So 4 from here. And of course, this is going to gain 2 back. Bottom feeder gains 2 after the species to the left is attacked. 2 back. Then the whale It has one game token here. Well, that game token should be back in the pot, by the way, because this is going to refill soon. So, yeah, these are going to come back out. There's no population here now, so the whale's getting nothing for this, but it's got 5 forage. So that's coming from the reef. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still fish in here, but we're getting close to the end. Okay, age 1, 2, 1, 2. His score's going up and up. I think we're a long way from winning at this stage, but we're demonstrating the game. Right, back to me. Now, because we're getting close to the end, I might take a little gamble here and throw away inking. So that's going to get discarded and put tentacled in its place, which allows him to feed 1 additional time. And then I'm going to put schooling on my parasitic shark cleaner. Now let's see what we can achieve. Right, before feeding, this thing's going to leech from the whale. Leeching 2. This thing can't be attacked when its species has 5 or more population. We've got 4. So the Kraken's going to feed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're going to feed from the shark. So 7 minus 2 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 population on here. That's my first. That's my standard feed. My standard attack. Symbiotic kicks in. We gain 1. Shark cleaner kicks in. Gains 2. Now the Kraken says population from each attack after the first goes directly to your score pile. So we've done our first attack. Let's attack again because we can feed an additional time. So 7 minus 2, who shall I attack? Yeah, is 5 more from here, but there's only 4. So we're taking that 4 and it goes to my score pile. Then we can attack 1 additional time. The shark's got no population left. So our 7 attack off 6 defense on the whale is just 1 food that's going to our score pile. See, I could have done the first attack on the whale, but that would only put 1 population on the apex predator, which means when it aged it would have gone extinct and I've lost it. So I didn't want to do that. So maybe that wasn't a great idea, but just putting this one here just means I can grab an extra food from here to my score pile. Every point counts. So this one's going to gain 2 more because we attacked twice more. And then this one's going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Now normally at this point it would overpopulate, but we've got prosperity. Species may store 9 extra population on their species boards. So we've got on 9. Each one can store an additional 1. Okay. Before it overpopulates. Now we age. So 2 from everywhere. 2, 2, 2. This one's got aging plus 1 from schooling, so we take an additional 1. Then I want to keep this hard shell. I think we should have another look at the deep. So let's grab 4. We've got a nice apex predator upgraded. Is good. Telomere repair. Gains 2 before aging, does not score during aging. I don't want that. Dense population, can have 1 extra trait. May store 9 extra population. And then ignores, can't be attacked. There is a transparency token coming up, which is going to go on the whale. The whale is going to become unattackable soon, although it's only if the reef has any population in it. Yeah, it's possible. So maybe we'll take this and just go for the shark. Yeah, I think we'll take apex predator. Yeah, because it's cheapest. Alright. Anything I want to discard? We could potentially put a new species in, so no. 3, 4, let's just draw one. And it is transparent, can't be attacked or leached. Back to Nautilus. Here it is then. So this is all for the whale. So he's going to become transparent and 4 extra armor. So we probably wouldn't have attacked it anyway. Shark is going to leech. So we've got 2 here. In this leech we've got a parasite token here. 2 from here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attack. This guy can't be attacked because his population is still 5. So we're still good. 6, so you can get 4 from here. None from here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. None from here. So he's attacking this guy, the bottom feeder. For 10, takes 4. These don't do anything. Shark Cleaner is going to gain 2. So they're coming from up here. This is almost empty. And that's it. Whale is going to gain 1. There's only 1 fish left here. And then forage for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The whale's grabbing all the points. Age 2, 2. Back to me. This looks like it's going to be the final turn of the game. So I'm going to throw this, play Symbiotic, and I think I might just toss Tentacled and put this in. I don't think there's anything more to do. No, I've got another plan. Put that back. I'm going to migrate. I'm just going to throw a card, doesn't matter which one, but transparent will do. Migrate 7. Pick any ocean. I'm going to take 7 from the reef. There's only 1 in here. Pop it in Sea Zone 1. Notice snows trigger if their sea zone is empty after an event. Okay, we finished the migration. It's not empty. Detritus is not triggered. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. So Tentacled's still in. What that means now is that before feeding, Parasitic, which leeches 2 from the species to the left, this thing is transparent only if the reef has fish in it. It's now empty, so transparent doesn't do anything. So we are going to leech these 2 fish. Thank you very much. And we now can attack the whale because the reef is empty. So feeding, I'm going to feed with my predator. So let's attack 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can take 5 from the shark. Excellent. That's my first attack. He gains 1 because of Symbiotic. He gains another because of Symbiotic. All sea zones are now empty, so we've triggered the end of the game. Now we grab our reserve. This is in case we need extra stuff. These go in here, so we can gain more. Shark Cleaner is going to hit first. After a species with 3 or more attacks, gain 2. Gain 2. Prosperity's in play. Okay, remember this was Sea Zone 3, not 1 or 2, so we can take more. And next we can attack 1 more time. Any attacks now after the first go direct to our score pile because of the Kraken. So we've got our 7 attack. We're attacking the shark again. We only take 1 food, but it's going directly to our score pile. This guy gains 2 more. These each gain. And now we can feed 1 additional time, but we can't forage, we can't attack the shark, and we can't attack unless we would take at least 1 population. So there's no point in us attacking the whale because he's got, what else he got? 7, he's got 10. He's got 10 armor. So yeah, that extra feed is not doing anything, but it didn't need to because we've ended the game. In the solo game, that's it. We will finish and do aging. Not that it matters, actually. And that's it in the solo game. As soon as we've triggered game end, whether it's our turn or Nautilus's turn, that's the end. And now we get to count our score. Let's see how we did. We're looking for 70. Your score is equal to everything in your score pile plus anything still out here in the population. So let's put these into piles of 10. We find we've got 10, 20, 30, 52 here. We need 18 from up here. Have we got them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Really? 17. We've got 69 points. We are 1 point shy. Oh, that's horrific. So close. So very close. Well, there it is, guys. What a dramatic ending to our game of Oceans solo. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration. I enjoyed it. And oh, so close. So close. It's tempting me to play again. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.